I'm so glad to be with you, my young friends. My name is Bonnie Washington, and I'm very happy to share a gospel story with you during your VBS experience this summer. Before I begin on this VBS lesson, I would like for you to think about a seesaw. All of us has been on a seesaw, and we know that if you take away this part, it loses its function. This part right here that the seesaw rests on is called the fulcrum. And today's lesson about the gospel, it is really the fulcrum that the gospel story rests on, the resurrection and the promise of Jesus. Now I'm going to begin the lesson on Matthew, the first book of the New Testament, Matthew the Gospel, and I'm going to begin that lesson now. It's called Jesus' Resurrection and Promise. Jesus was arrested for crimes he did not commit. He was severely beaten and nailed to a cross where he died for the sins of all people. His body was placed in a tomb. A large stone was placed over the opening of the tomb. Guards stood by the tomb, and no one could get in. The followers of Jesus believed that all hope was gone. Early on Sunday morning, Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James, walked to the tomb. There had been a violent earthquake, and an angel of the Lord had come down from heaven. The angel rolled back the stone that had been placed in front of the tomb and sat on it. The angel had the appearance of lightning, and his clothes were as white as snow. The guards who had been placed in front of the tomb to guard Jesus' body were so frightened that they fainted and fell to the ground. When the women saw the angel, they were frightened. But the angel reminded them that Jesus had risen, just as he had told them he would. The angel invited the women to come see where Jesus had been, and then told them to go and tell Jesus' disciples what they had seen. Jesus met the women on the way and said to them, "Do not be afraid. Go and tell my disciples to leave for Galilee, and they will see me there." The women ran to tell the disciples the great news. Jesus is alive. They told the disciples to go to Galilee where Jesus would meet them. The 11 disciples traveled to the mountain in Galilee where Jesus had directed them to go. When the disciples saw Jesus, they worshiped him. Jesus said to the men, "Go and make disciples everywhere. Baptize people and teach them to do everything I have told you." Then Jesus made an amazing promise. He promised to be with them always. Friends, if Jesus had not arisen, we call it a resurrection, the whole gospel story wouldn't mean anything. But this means that Jesus is the Son of God, and God accepted Jesus dying on the cross for my sins. Boys and girls, just as we did in the other VBS lessons, I have some review questions from our lesson today. Who went to the tomb early Sunday morning? Mary Magdalene and Mary. What happened when the women reached the tomb? There had been an earthquake and an angel had appeared. What happened to the guards when they saw that angel? They fainted and fell to the ground. What did the angel tell the women? That Jesus had risen just as he told them he would. This is a little bit different. It's a fill-in-the-blank story. Jesus told the disciples to blank and make blank everywhere. Blank people and teach them to do everything I have told you. All right, I'll repeat it. You can fill in with me. Jesus told the disciples to go and make disciples everywhere. Baptize people and teach them to do everything. Finally, What did Jesus promise the disciples? That He would be with them always. Boys and girls, when we become a child of God, Jesus indwells us and He will never ever leave us. Thank you. Have a great VBS.